I don't think she's got any longer. Let's do this. Yeah. That's a cool. They having one new officer. Said the collar and sheets, they yelled it at the school.
Yeah, that starting points gave this out.
Yeah, you know where it came from? It's Ricky's store. It was under my plate, so I thought I'd stick it up there.
Yeah, so we give them out to K to 5, and then we have like
Picture of Selena. She said,
yeah, I took it. Yeah,
there's the picture, man.
I can send it to you, but I figured it'd already be out. Gave it at school. But yeah, I think that's like back to back. She's won. Yeah, me and Trish went in and did that. Sometime last week.
She said, Mr. Todd's full of my picture.
Todd, what a name.
Where's that?
That's our tax. That's up and running.
Oh, great. It's good.
And according to White. Around Thursday or one day next week. And
So we can see.
basically, if you want it on your phone, they'll put it on the phone, but you turn this one in here and actually view it down. Slow.
Yeah.
Gee, if I would have thought about it, that was the road that connects here in Springfield. Spring Gap. I think all the way down those, wasn't an island. Almost supposed to be. Right across like down on that way back here, where it's like 4th Drive.
Not happy at all.
6 miles. Get my vacation again.
No, she not thinking.
I haven't heard anything.
You guys been in touch with
Sarah.
Christy?
Who?
Christy Duluth from for the planning commission.
Ron. We just had to change it's time frame for the people.
Okay.
Should be okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was a little confusing if it runs at close to the next election. That's what it was. That's what it condensed it down to.
Okay.
And I just got the 3 ordinances printed.
So much.
You didn't say dead.
And that was those spikes.
Recording in progress.
Oh.
Hold on. Sounds like portable. I'm at the 15%. If you're looking at 70, under.
ordinances that I just printed out.
Yeah, man, I've got it all, literally,
What they've done, doesn't seem to that.
I've got it. Everyone.
That's a versus somewhere. Here. You see me? Yes, sir. I'm just one. It's freaking seal trooper.
It should be coming to you.
He was saying.
Hey. So,
Got married.
thank you.
It might should.
You can leave it right there. It's not bad.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's laughing at something. Yeah, that's wonderful.
I mean, I got t-shirts, I got soap today. My goodness. I'm just being like, yeah, I was pampered today.
You got it. All right. Six PM, this meeting is called to order. Everybody sign in. Record in a moment. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes of the April 15th meeting?
I know what they do.
We have a motion to approve.
Detail.
Bills.
I'll second it.
Yay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Approval of the bills as presented.
Yeah.
Second.
Yay?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna go into the committee reports. About the ordinances.
Well, from last month, I guess we did the first reading and it's quite lengthy, but we went through each one. Fine tooth combed it, what worked, what didn't. And I guess later on tonight, we'll be going on to the second hearing of it. Other than that, it's been moving along. That's the report.
Cemetery. Angie, John, Ricky. Finance. Need a motion on that. That's your list. Look good?
I guess I'll make the motion.
No, no motion necessary.
Oh.
It's just committee, not just, but this is committee reports. Personnel committee.
So we've got a new police officer. It's about all that's been on, I think, with the personnel committee. I don't know if we can even claim that one, but
I was gonna say police, but yeah, that works. Her name is Sierra Mello. We interviewed her last month. She's kind of around my age, has some experience in not just law enforcement but coding. So seems like she'll be a good fit. Is Aaron here?
Yes,
You have anything you'd like to add to it, or?
it's about FO stuff, otherwise, but please, which is with her. She's been to the Full State Police Academy, so she's more familiar with all the dealings.
is she already onboarded, like?
She, worked for the first time, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Is that your all's tentative plan right now for her? It's like Friday, Saturday, because that's compatible with her.
Yes.
Job.
Yes, ideally, with my work and party, I can come out Friday evenings. And what we're gonna try and do is her be around in the mornings into the late afternoon, evening on Friday. Have some overlap there with me, if something's happening, she can stay later. Then I'll work the Saturday morning and she'll do about the same time from, say, this is just totally random also, like 2 to midnight or something like that on Saturday. Time allows, somebody might try and work some on Sundays, but we're not gonna commit to that, because like, kind of a church and family day, but there's have days. And then Ryan on Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday. Friday.
So just for the town's benefit too, I had talked to Sierra, briefly in between last or after last meeting about, kind of her experience after we got word that she might have had some experience in code enforcement as well, about exploring what kind of a bridge solution for the town could look like. We do have it on the agenda, so it's the ability to discuss it. She did not seem at all put off by that, but to just try and give a little bit more form as to what that could look like, I think it'd be appropriate if we try to discuss that a little bit later in this meeting.
Yeah, she said you were talking about like sit down and actually plan to come up with.
Just-
or tightened up.
Even just like you and I were talking through when we were working on stuff, if the town has to have an agent that can actually go out and do the enforcement. Law enforcement has a ton of benefit in it being the same person, but if we've already got somebody that's got a little bit of experience, it would certainly be something that's worth exploring.
Yeah, she seems pretty versatile, so. Alright.
They're kind of covered the police.
I'm gonna interject more stuff
Oh,
go for it on the police.
Yes.
Since we have somewhat of a little core now, I wanted to try and start actually equipping some people rather than just using whatever hand-me-downs we found and so forth. Benefits of doing this now is that we're into the 9th month of the fiscal year. We only use about 40% of the budget, so we could, if we want to make some big outlays on expenditure, it could come out of this budget where we have some excess versus putting it off and waiting until the next year where it might be a little bit tighter and so forth. What I would like to find out if I can do is, if I got everybody new vests, the ones that we have are either outdated or people are wearing their own, for the whole new vest with the accoutrements and so forth, just the holders and so forth, and the gear is about 1,100 each. And then I would also like to get everybody at least 2 pairs of pants that match everybody's, and 2 short sleeve tops, which probably between 75 and 100 each for those. And then whatever random gear to finish out their utility belts and so forth. It wouldn't go more than 5,000, so that would be what I'd be seeing if I could get this spend on trying to equip everybody.
Should we put body cams in there?
Well, it's next on my list there, but I need to see if I can get, or I mean, I can just go for new, but I need to see if we have the hardware, but I need to see if we can get software that'll work with the older models and so forth. I want to try and expand that option first before the whole investment on body cams. I can try and find out how much new ones will cost, but I haven't delved into it that far. I wanted to not be greedy if I'm gonna try and get the basic stuff approved first and move forward from there. But yes, that would be one of the things that I would like to get also on.
Make that motion, man.
I'll make
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Yay.
Aye.
Yay. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so we can move on to streets and alleys.
So Angie and I
spent the Saturday out there with the dumpster. We had a lot less turnout than the first week, but we still had some pretty good, amount of trash and debris that was disposed of.
Okay. And. Water and sewer.
Well, we've had a couple of water leaks, Williams was out, out the works. By the side, so. One down there. All house. And Acer gonna fix it Thursday. Fix one cool.
They have a lot of, what's our problem up there?
Fix,
Old.
Oh,
fix one there below Jonathan.
and they're not getting renewed or anything with what's going on now.
That was supposed to be new.
One McCool?
Oh.
Is that what you're talking about? One McCool?
One McCool and them,
That was
that
sewer.
side was never really done.
Gotcha.
When Thrasher was here. They only do this side of the trucks.
The one on McCool was actually a cast iron meter setter broke in 3 places. When Ace went to pick it up, it fell apart in 3 spots and it's actually not hooked to the meter. When we looked down in there, the threads were showing on the meter.
I think that's what's going on with the one today. Yeah, for a lot of
It's,
brass doesn't rust.
it's the cast iron at bottom on it that's rusted and cracked.
Old things like that. We've had few throughout the last 10 years up and doing.
Yes.
That the cast iron one, they fall apart. Well,
So is it gonna get fixed? Is it?
they're on work like Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, and, Folks around or so they didn't say anything. The cars parked on Lee Street
Mhm.
need to be moved by, I think, by morning.
I think Ron put out a.
Yeah,
I told Ace that to
Yeah.
say something about it, like,
Yeah, he did
whether
put
it
it out.
matters or not.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, but whether the people did or not, they'll certainly see once they start.
Donovan's boy might have been good for she tried way down. Abby. When did you? Yes.
Yeah.
They got it.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
it look big truck, you know, somebody buying it down the road.
Well, he can always put his trailer down there at the corner.
There was, God, they asked for it, I gotta pick my girl up there, well, but.
Yeah, I don't think they're
On
driving.
every bus is right there. We can go today.
So, water, sewer.
Pick up any room.
When was the last
I don't know, you know.
Yes, what, if you guys don't mind, help me out understand, when have the last major like water projects and updates? When was the last time that you guys kind of went through the system, did a major system update or project?
2017, when did John?
Pretty sure.
That's the newest map before this.
This was here too, because they just complaining about where they had put fire hydrants.
What happened in that project? What did you guys do as far as scope in 2017?
Sure.
As, did they do like line replacement? What's the, okay, so what's rusting out right now whenever you have?
Well, we're talking about it stuff. 50 years.
I guess, yeah, what I'm trying to figure out is just the age of the system. The reason for it is that I've been through a couple water projects now where there's some new technology. Do you guys still go out and read meters or you? Read
Readers that are going in
Radio read.
are all radio read,
Right, but you're driving around and doing radio.
Most of them.
Okay,
most of them,
And we've
and
been up there
it
very
would be
expensive,
handheld or touch gun, it'll be tablet or your cell phone from now on.
okay. Did you all do that in the 2017? So you got, oh, that was, you all have just been doing that on your own.
This
That's
new
just-
project that's going on now, all this that's going on, they're replacing main, service line, meter setters, meters, lids and rings and boxes.
That's the current project that's happening right now.
Yeah, none of the other projects needed an upgrade, no meter, just the main line, that was it.
Okay. a thing to contemplate, especially if you've got a project going on right now, it likely wouldn't happen for a little bit. If you guys talk to the crew in Romney, they upgraded to sonic meters that are remote read, but they're not radio relay, so they're not remote read as in like you have to go out, but they do cell phone digital, right? So what can happen is the meters themselves are acoustic monitors. They actually listen to the entire system, and if a break happens anywhere on the system,
That's what
these are acoustic monitors.
Yes.
All right,
The new radio read every 15 minutes, that's what we detect.
perfect. All right, well, there's several brand names, so if you guys are already on it, that's good. That normally helps with water loss because you find the leaks a lot faster.
And according to the engineer, the next round, besides the water plant over here at the well site, they want to start, doing the other side of the railroad, upgrading those lines like McCool, down your street.
And you guys are synced up with Thrasher for the most part, or have you interacted?
We're working with them.
Okay, belts are coming.
And Canner.
Arcane K.
Arcade Cave.
I mean, your engineer, okay. Appreciate it. I just want to try and wrap.
No,
What you guys got right now?
Tractor was one 28, 2017 or 18. Appreciate
Individual experiences may vary. I certainly have gone around with different firms across the state. I've had very good relationships with or work with Thrasher over the recent years, but I understand you get different crews.
Oh,
everybody
well,
has
different
different-
There, you walk out there, be healthy as horse and drop dead in the parking lot.
Yeah, like I said, I just want to wrap my head around what you guys might have coming.
Okay, the only other thing I got underwater, under the water side is, Extreme Endeavors is supposed to come back in, run a cable here in this building and train everybody that needs to know how to monitor the water tanks and stuff. They will be here this Thursday or what, on? Okay. Okay, I'll call Mike tomorrow. But that's,
And they're gonna be training.
yeah, they'll teach us teach them how to pull it up on their phone. It's already on mine. And the only thing I don't like is the alarm feature. It took me a while to figure out how to turn the new system off. That's all I got for work.
Let's move on to the commissions, Parks and Recreation.
Okay, so we had one bid for the pavilion to cover it so the birds don't get in. And the proposal was the town pay for the materials, which would be 1,500, and then the labor is estimate 1,500, so it would be about $3,000 to, if we want to go with this bid. And
What's the big consist of?
Uh,
What's the big consist of? How materials?
so it says town pays for the metal, and you can, if you like, but yeah, it's saying,
Metal soffit.
yes, soft, yeah. Just blanking on the word myself, but. Yep, so, do we,
Yeah, we need to just approve it now so we can get it done.
well, I'll make that motion because, like I said, I would like to get it done sooner rather than later. Alright.
Fine.
Alright, so that's
No.
one. Two is not the municipal park, but over at Riverfront Park, there is going to be the walkathon going on. And the site manager for the senior center, Rebecca, gave me this paper. She also sent me an email where the sponsorship contributions will go directly toward the event's expenses and help us continue offering meaningful services and opportunities for the seniors in our community. They have three different options here. Everybody's got a copy of these, but I can go ahead and read them out. So the bronze, $50 donation, recognition, printed items, social media, business name, shout out during event. silver, $100, yard sign, name and logo, short ad during event, one promotional item, giveaway bag, and half price sponsored team registration. And then the 150 donation is business name shirt gets a or business name logo gets an event shirt, multiple promo items, and one free vendor space. Um, so I suppose that would go under Parks and Rec. So, but I am completely fine giving them the 150. So for their event, which is happening June 13th. And
Are we gonna man the booth?
so I'll be doing multiple duties that day. I'm being the caller for it. I'm also representing starting points. But I guess you can slap Parks and Rec on there too. Just, just put a bunch of stuff at my table. But,
How about the other counselors feel on manning the booth on June the 13th? Well, it has set hours, doesn't it?
starts at 10. And then, not necessarily sure of that end time, but, get there roughly 9:30, just kind of set whatever up. They'll tell us where they want us to go.
Can't be a couple hours.
Yeah, I would say at the very latest, 10 to 12:30 as yeah. So
Did they have any weather date?
not that I see. But, uh,
So I think, I guess one concern that I would have is if we're getting, I think I also support going with the goal, but 150 buck contribution, but I think we should, as a condition of that, like, make them know that we do not want any promotional items, because if we're contributing town's money and then the items come here, who do they go to?
Yeah. Well, that can
So
be
how about-
arranged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
we'll,
be done.
we'll give them $50. Yeah,
Okay,
that works.
perfect. Do we have to, get a motion for that?
Yes. 150.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
And then lastly, and this is just a very, very small thing, we're getting a couple of boards replaced on the bleachers at the municipal park. Just got them cracked, rotted, But Ron, have they been ordered just yet, or
What do we got?
the boards,
For the,
bleachers?
oh, no, you don't have to order me, just gotta have somebody.
Oh, well, there we go. So I mean, they'll be in hopefully in a week or so. Yeah. So really nothing much there. But yeah, so ball games going on today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, all day. So but it's been good. Everything's been really good at the park. Looks really nice down there. That's it for me.
The social commission.
So we no longer have a social commission. We right now the Paw Paw Community Board. And nothing really to report this month. And getting ready for June.
Yep, pretty much. I guess we'll have some type of little booth for Memorial Day. Give out some odds and ends.
So that'll be like your first debut Memorial Day.
Well, we've done a
Weekend.
couple of events, but that'll, I think, be the first time where people will walk up with inquiries as to what we are and what we're up
Get some
to.
others involved.
Yeah, so that'll be more of an exposure thing that day.
Ron, administrative reports?
Administrative reports.
Uh,
Yeah, big.
the state budget was approved, the water project
Well, just, I mean, water projects moving along. If anybody lives on Lee Street, we sent a message out that, they're gonna be digging up Lee Street tomorrow. Tried to tap on doors, but a lot of people went home. So we did a call out.
Did you think you know if Ace went back and put the door knocker,
Uh,
just in case,
Door knock, what's the door knock?
the door hangers?
For, you mean people shut the water off?
Yeah, he could have wrote on the back of them, what they need to do about the car,
Oh,
just in case.
oh,
they
yeah,
forget it.
yeah, I don't know. He just said he went door to door. Numerous people went home. He wanted me to do a call out, so I did a call out. You may have any questions about water, sewer, anything?
We got the call then.
Yeah. You-
I did.
You didn't get a call? We got the call.
School orders going off as well.
If you didn't get the call the office and let Connie know, make sure your phone number is listed. Okay,
It didn't say nothing about the water being cut off. It just said no parking on Lee Street.
Clean commission. Final resolution.
So code enforcement, just in administrative reports, I'll step in just because we don't have a designated code enforcement officer yet. So kind of as our place filler right now, I'm coordinating with law enforcement team to kind of cover down on some of our code enforcement complaints. Really just that's the update itself, is that's our current placeholder. You guys are gonna be able to make decisions on what you want to do for personnel as to actually make the hire or see whether or not we can get a bridge solution with our newest hire. And you guys are gonna make that decision later on in the meeting. But Chief and I have been working through a particular file. I think that it's properly brought into executive session to discuss for the legal grounds what your different options are on that file. But I think that's the largest update is that Chief went out and did a site inspection for one of the files. And then it'll be appropriate to bring into executive session unless it's not. Yes.
It's good ready because this, the last weekend in the month is our big weekend in Paw Paw. And we like for everything to look good, as good as possible.
We'll kind of, like I said, we'll just discuss your
Shall we give them a job?
legal options that you have. I think that's the major part of the report, though. It's just that right now we're gonna bridge. You still always need not your code enforcement officer, right? So I can interpret the laws that we have, the codes that we have on the books, and advise your officer. You still need an enforcement officer. That's why we have to get this personnel sorted out and moving forward.
And we're gonna do that in the executive.
If, or when we get to executive, when we get to the end of the meeting, you all approve bringing that item into executive session, it can be properly covered. If you as a body don't vote to do that, we can handle that item. Off the regular.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation.
Anybody have any questions? Town code. No, yes, we just did that.
Go new business A.
The code enforcement officers, I think you guys should make an official kind of decision as to which direction you want to go. With the chief in the room, the mayor is a class 4 municipality over the police department. So you're talking about using police resources to do some of this function. It's kind of a decision point for you guys. Do you want to go ahead and list a part-time code enforcement position and then see if you can obtain, or do you want to try to work with the law enforcement team that you have and see whether or not we have a bridge and we have a workable solution moving forward?
From my conversations with Sierra, I think she's comfortable with going that direction.
Well, actually, I was writing to show him a note since for executive, since I was not allowed to be around there. But I was gonna say, if you guys decide to use Sarah double duty, I would suggest it being at the ends and the beginnings of the shift when I'm on here also, then she can break away and engage that, and there's at least somebody to go do whatever, but then by the same standard, if I need her or something, I can just call for her and she could change hats and be available.
100%. And there's, like I said, there's part of it that we're not gonna understand, which is the law enforcement overlap. That's definitely your wheelhouse. One of the things I would recommend is making sure that at least part of those hours that she's gonna work occur during the work week. Because she's gonna have to respond to emails, return calls during regular business hours as part of the regular response. Um, and also just conducting inspection. You don't do that in the middle of the night too. So there'll be some scheduling stuff to consider. I think that her input will be important as we move forward, but if that's your direction,
Yeah, if a motion is needed, that's the make a motion to have Sierra take on that role instead of putting out a job listing for it.
The two of them work together as a team so that there's always a backup.
okay. So with that being the tentative plan right now, what I would do is go ahead and designate, just make a motion authorizing, designating her as your official town code enforcement officer. That gives her the ability to enforce your nuisance ordinance as it moves forward. So she'll actually be the sanctioned person to do that.
What is Sierra's last name?
Mallow, Mallow, right? Maybe. I'll make that motion to authorize and designate Sierra.
She's going to
I'll
be your
second.
enforcement officer.
I
The new girl.
I do have a question regarding this. I'm not aware if she has is passed the test for that yet, and if not, I think that starts our time, our clock on that, doesn't it?
So you should not necessarily, actually, not necessarily, not at all. You guys don't have a building code, so the building code is the thing that triggers the requirement by the fire marshal's office for certification, and that would be something that we would have to do in order to enforce the building code. For nuisance, that's a town designation. I believe that the nuisance ordinance actually already authorizes your police officers, but having her as the designated code enforcement officer covers any of the other ordinances that you have on the books. So this will be the official action that says she's authorized to implement those. And then I just, like, a parting comment here, I think it would be, a good starting place to say, hey, if this doesn't work out, it's not a natural fit, to allow that flexibility for adjustment going forward. But if we can make it work, it does seem like it could be a good thing. Go ahead, ma'am.
What do the new business say?
Okay. All right, you guys last month authorized me to draft, put together a ordinance creating, well, let's just talk about this. Your community revitalization fund. What that is that's a fund which receives money, both grants, donations, I said both. From grants, donations, town allocations. You can get funding from a bunch of different sources. It goes in and then it can go out in a couple different ways, either as loans or as grants for the purpose of rehabilitation. Whenever it goes out as grants, it has specific criteria that are spelled out in the state code. What the direction that you guys gave me last month was to create the ordinance so that you can read it, or create the fund, but that you only wanted it to apply to grants. You did not want to issue loans because you didn't want to be in the business of enforcing those loans. The model that I went with, and I highly recommend, we can alter this if it's something that you really are uncomfortable with. This is my pretty firm recommendation, is that the ordinance, so you're gonna adopt an ordinance, first and second reading, so you have this month and the next month to review too, right? So here, the ordinance will go for first reading this month. The ordinance authorizes everything that the fund can do by state code, okay? So it doesn't spell that, but it also says that the bylaws, right, the way by which the fund is distributed is to be set by resolution by the town, okay? And then I've also got a draft resolution which says that you're only going to issue grants per the direction that you guys gave, and then it lays out the criteria for that grant application. What my recommendation is tonight, you do your first reading of the ordinance, and that will set you up for a second reading and passage at the next meeting. And then in between this reading and next, or this month and next month, take your time to review those bylaws that are, or essentially they're kind of bylaws, but the ordinance or the grant procedures that are spelled out in that resolution and see if there's anything you don't like. It's pretty detailed. It's also compliant with West Virginia code. It's also compliant and tied to West Virginia code, so you can kind of read through the resolution and know exactly where you're at.
Thank you, Cindy.
Again, we were just talking through, what's on the table right now is the first reading of the ordinance that creates the neighborhood stabilization fund.
Okay.
So all this ordinance does is create the fund, and it doesn't tell you anything other than the town administers the fund, and the town is going to set the rules by which it administers that fund through resolution. That's the ordinance. And then the second document that you have is a resolution, which I'm encouraging you guys to review over the next month. For either input, we change it, let me know if there's something we need to change. But if you like it, then you can adopt that at the same time that you pass the ordinance next month, and then you guys will be off to the races. Now, the key part of the resolution, and so we can talk about these one at a time, but I figured you might as well talk about it. Key part of the resolution, I set the initial grant amount max at $3,000. Okay, so you guys can fund this and then issue grants up to $3,000. I didn't make that entirely arbitrary. I thought that was at least enough. You can get a lot of work done for 3,000 if you're careful with it. But at the same time, it's not so much that, you guys are super at risk, exactly. So that was my recommendation, but that number is also entirely dependent on what you guys think. If you tell me right now as a group that you don't like that and you want to change it to something else, too easy to change it. But that was just the starting place that I had. Do you guys have any questions about either of those two documents, even though I know you just saw them for the first time? That's what they do. One just creates the fund. The second is a model set of rules for dispersing the funds. Don't have to pass the night.
So I understand the logic behind the ordinance. The resolution, resolutions are more flexible. So if we come in and we've got, we determine that, hey, maybe this 3,000 isn't enough, we can change it kind of on the spot
Without having to modify the ordinance.
I just want to make sure
Yeah,
that's what.
that was the goal behind the ordinance structure. Ordinance structure gives the public plenty of notice. Everybody's got a month to review it, but it also is simple. It says the fund hereby exists, and it's going to be administered by the town. It's set the rules by resolution. They're actually authorized to do everything by resolution, but when you have time, an ordinance is better because it separates at least two meetings out. But yeah, that was absolutely the goal, because they give you the flexibility to modify by ordinance later. By resolution, sorry. Questions?
We need to,
You would have to
make a motion for the first reading.
Yep, motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance creating the neighborhood revitalization fund.
Make a motion to do the first reading of the neighborhood revitalization fund. By title only.
I will second that.
Should kind of a point. You guys gotta remember that when we motion second and then further discussion, and if there's none, but then you have to revote. So it's just, all good. Nobody's probably ever gonna challenge us on this, but if somebody wanted to come back and say, actually, we didn't get two votes. Yeah. All right. That's all I have for that, man.
So do we just read the title of,
Yeah, go ahead.
single sheet paper? So I'm just gonna read the title and that's it.
The title of this should be,
Okay.
Ordinance number blank, we filled in whenever you pass an ordinance establishing the Town of Paw Paw Neighborhood Revitalization Fund, whereas West Virginia Code Section 820A-3 authorizes any municipality by ordinance or resolution to establish a special fund known as the Neighborhood Rehabilitation Fund of such municipality, and whereas the town council of Paw Paw desires to establish a fund for the purposes authorized by West Virginia Code, Article 28, Chapter 8. Now therefore be it ordained by the town council of the town of Paw Paw establishment. So
Right to that.
Moving on. B is water plant personnel discussion. Makes sense.
I believe that ought to be an executive session.
I can agree, but if we're gonna be discussing personnel matters,
That's it.
if we're gonna be discussing personnel matters, I think we ought to do that in executive session.
Yeah. Yep. Move that to executive.
We have to do any motion or anything on that?
Well, if the mayor can move that item to the end of the agenda, I would recommend take everybody to the remaining business. And then if you think there are a couple items that you want to take in this executive session, just we'll make a motion. I'll help you.
Oh, okay. So then we're gonna move to real property interest. Discussion and possible purchase.
That's absolutely what I would take into executive session. You guys are gonna have 3 items from executive session this evening. That's a recommendation also. You all can decide that. Have that conversation now.
Yeah. That's executive.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to business license. We've had one application. A&W Landscaping. Alex Floyd.
Oh, approved.
Hold on a second. let me get
You again.
the- John said that right. Yes.
Oh, all right.
Okay, there.
I. Question about building permits. Is that something we should consider delegating down to the town employees? Like, is there ever a situation we would not want to approve?
This is a wonderful question, and it's absolutely a high recommendation of mine. I typically do it after you get a code enforcement office though, because I want to have somebody to delegate it to. Right? But yeah, I think it's a very healthy question. At every point, if you guys say, hey, on this agenda item, we always say yes, then why is it on the agenda? Right, so
You get it approved faster, everybody's got.
100%,
Everybody's happy.
100%, and it also handles whenever you, especially if you get it set up right, it hands the authority down to the folks that interact with it a lot. And you can also, when you do that, maintain the appeal authority back up to yourselves as the town council. But that's absolutely a good course. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it at this point because you don't kind of have that office set up yet. But I think that's a good track. But also, if you guys can just think of things that you do all the time, just by if you automatically do it, that's a great thing to get off your agenda because it makes it faster for the public to get it.
And David,
Thank you, screw.
he's just renewing his and putting up events.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we move into public comment. Did anybody, we hit the paper?
Yeah, it's right.
No, it's the other one.
I
I'll
don't know,
get it
he's
on
got-
the agenda, so it wasn't on the agenda whenever it came to be, and I didn't throw it on the agenda, so yeah, until next month.
Alright.
It's nuisance ordinance.
That's fine.
That, I have to own that error. The town staff reached out to me on Wednesday. Yep. So we covered the first reading last month. They asked me if I had any input. I missed the fact that it wasn't on the ordinance, but because, or it wasn't on the agenda, but because it's not, we gotta kick it to the next meeting. It's okay, because you guys are also. Well, from my understanding, even if it goes active and implements, you guys, well, if it becomes active, you guys were not planning on an implementation schedule for at least a while. So you have plenty of time. Now it is entirely appropriate, since you're not voting on it this evening, if you guys wanted to take this version and allow it to be full public review. If that's something that you want to do, or if you hold until you actually finalize the ordinance next month, that's okay too.
I think we ought to share everything.
Yeah,
we
I mean,
can with-
absolutely.
I'll get a PDF version that's finalized over to you guys first, distribution, yeah. That way everybody can kind of have a heads up on what it is that you're looking at. And I do apologize for that too. Not the staff's fault, that was mine.
Anything else?
Public comment now?
Okay, first public comment is Robin Rodriguez. And are both of you speaking together? 'Cause
Yeah.
Both of you signed, okay,
yeah.
you have the floor.
I'm just here to check the status of the building permit for Donovan Brown to see what's gonna happen. The letter for 30 days that he was given is beyond 30 days. He's a building contractor. He has a license. He has a partner in the room right here as a councilman that works with him. They're in cahoots together. I don't care if you all let him have the swimming pool or what you do. But this officer has been at my house twice. He took photos from my side of the fence. And everybody in the town of Paw Paw knows that his building is not legal. So he's been given time and time and time again. So I would suggest something's done about it, or I'm going to make the move and make the action start. His business partner here could gladly help him tear it down. And I have proof on my phone for a conversation that me and Miss Darlene had by text message. When I questioned when the very first pour of concrete in the post went in the ground about this, I questioned it. I made a phone call to her and we started texting back and forth. So I'd have the receipts of the conversation. Our words was, she was sure her council would do the right thing and make the right vote. Okay? So if the council did the right thing and made the right vote, it's illegal. Okay? And she also quoted to me, that is on my phone, that she said to me, if it is illegal, we can make him tear it down. So he's got his 30-day letter. The officer's been there twice. What are we stalling for? When we gonna start tearing it down because it's illegal? Or do I need to proceed with my resources? Because I've had several people tell me it's illegal. Was you not up there the other day, sir?
I didn't take pictures to see if it was legal or not. I took pictures of the place of the screws going through the other side, and then supposedly the downpour from the snow was coming onto your property, which I was instructed to forward to the town attorney, who was going to do research, and I assuming that was what he was alluding to. They were going to talk about in an executive session.
Okay.
That would be all the more I have.
My question, the first time he was there, Guanaco County, he sent him his words. He say, I can do nothing about it.
No, it's not a criminal act.
Okay.
I mean, it's a very,
No,
it might
finish.
be liable and civil, but I don't enforce that.
I'm not finished. I'm not
Okay.
finished. You say, take my words, say I'm wrong or wrong. You say, nothing I can do. Lady, you kids or you bring kids, get a step with the screws, and sue the mayor and sue the town.
No, I did not say sue the mayor or sue the town.
I know that.
100%, I did not say that. I said he would be liable and you could sue him for it.
No, that.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, when you was up a couple Sundays ago, that you had a roof and measured.
Did you measure
Apple?
anything?
No, I wasn't there to measure anything.
You wasn't there to measure anything? Did you walk over in his driveway in his backyard? To see the swimming pool?
No, I wasn't there for any of that. I was there for what I was directed to do, which was take pictures and send them to the attorney.
So
That's fine.
for the benefit of the council, because we do not have a code enforcement officer and we need a responsible official from the town, coordinated with chief here to go out and document so that we have something factual to rely on to review this file. I plan on showing you guys what that review indicates and what's in effect if it's not. And then make my recommendation on how to proceed. Part of that discussion is appropriately had in executive session, both for the nature of it being an ongoing file, but also because it involves legal advice as well. So that would be my recommendation, is to carry it in, and then the decision that you decide to make will be made outside of executive session if you decide to make a decision at all. So you're welcome to come back in if the town decides to move into executive session. You're welcome to come back in for that part of the meeting. But if not, that's gonna be my recommendation of how to proceed. One of the things that I will like to say, indicate too, is that this is kind of the growing pain part of starting a process. Not right now, we don't have a code enforcement office, so we've got to kind of work with what we have, which is thankfully chief's available to help out with this. We're building a capacity, starting to build a capacity. You don't have everything already pre-made, pre-done, so that's where we're at right now.
So whose 3 minutes was up, mine or Johnny's?
Both.
It's not 3 minutes per person?
We got what you want us to do, so there's
Okay,
no reason to yell at each other anymore.
we're not yet.
When we gonna start doing it? Yeah, when we gonna start doing it? You're the one that sent the letter 30 days.
That was about this rooftop.
Yeah,
And yes, he is going to put the snow things on it before the next snow. So there won't be any snow coming off his roof over there.
So what are we gonna do about the 5 foot?
He built the garage long before I was here, and the
What garage, darling? The carport was just built.
carport is in line with his garage. That's all I know.
He's pissed. He's
And
pissed.
like you said, we've never
He's
had a
pissed.
code enforcer or a building enforcer, so there's nothing we can legally do.
Okay.
Okay,
That's so.
Yeah.
That's all we know.
yep, I can legally do stuff.
We still follow simple, so.
Yep.
There's more than you can.
Huh?
Yeah, none more than you can afford.
Oh, I done got lawyers, honey. I done got 3 of them. Somebody's gonna pay my lawyer fees.
Yep.
I don't need Morgan County.
Should we go on?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take him as business partner and all of them. I don't know how his business partner votes on things anyway.
Hang on. The next on the list is Alex. You want to speak?
Oh, no, I just signing in. I didn't pay
Okay.
attention.
Want me to take your 3 minutes?
Will,
I damn sure.
So on illegal parking issues on Jackson Street, I was gonna print this out, but my printer had no ink, so you can pass that around. Pass on those three. So rather than call the sheriff's department, because they're busy, I think that should be handled in-house with maybe a summary of the code of ethics. The other thing is the side by sides. Last weekend, I was on my walk coming out. A side by side came out of Liberty, actually went up on the sidewalk and almost hit somebody. I mean, the guy actually jumped back and was like, "Whoa!" It was a blue and white one, and like I said, it came out of Liberty and it actually jumped the sidewalk. And there was like 4 or 5 of them behind him, but he almost hit somebody. So I think that's as it gets warmer, summer gets.
I've
And-
cited 2 of them.
Yeah.
When I've been here, one for no registration and one for speeding.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, this guy, how he didn't make the turn, I don't know, but this poor guy was walking up the sidewalk and was like, "Whoa!" And I was walking down and saw it. I was like, "Man," I say, "He almost hit
This is
you."
also why I want somebody to be here all day Saturday, because that seems to be the popular.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it was last Saturday. Yeah, yeah. That's all I got.
Thank you.
is it for the speakers? So
Yes, we need those use. Executive.
So you have to, this is the rule for executive session, right? You have to say what items are gonna be discussed. So that would be.
Former police or whatever, if you can ever get the tags and then swear out, well, okay, then that should get pulled over. Right?
So after. Somebody was introduced to take.
No, he said we can come back.
Gaining into executive session for consideration of water plant personnel, for personnel reasons,
was turning the corner by that White House.
real estate, property interest discussion.
The guy looked
for
up
reasons of
distance,
disposition.
jumped back,
Real
on the
property
sidewalk, came down, ran the stop sign on the left and went back that,
Enforcement
that,
for.
that rail thing, byway. Yeah, he went back.
Sorry, absolutely.
Yeah, we need somebody that is motion that I just. Second. Okay. Okay. And then I think my recommendation as we start getting folks out, staff in for. With an apportionment and then as appropriate, whittle down instead of it, people out and right back in. So this time I think it'd be appropriate to ask everybody else that's not town staff to. Leave. Well, we've got the-
Only twice. We can come back in afterwards, right?
Yes.
Okay.
the end of executive session.
Got it, Tracy? You got all your stuff?
Sorry.
This White House on the end.
What do you think, Robin?
I think she's a bunch of shit.
He's right.
I sat there and looked at
Hey,
the damn
I wanna-
clock and he didn't talk no 3 minutes and I didn't talk no 3.
But
Uh,
that's not the paper right there where they tell you 3 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
If I got, I wouldn't want to work for her if she can't tell time. Jesus Christ.
You need to put stuff together, you know?
Yeah, and there's.
he's interesting. That's all right.
Yeah.
She didn't like it because I got her proof right here on the phone. Her comments, she shot me and said, she said, he will tear it down. That's what she said.
Oh, I'm sure.
Now he's in ordinance. He's going to put up things. Do you hear the snow bars? He's going to put up snow bars and he's in line with his other garage. Well, his other garage back then, it was only 2 foot. Now it's 5 foot. So
Yeah, it's a new structure.
that's right. Bullshit.
I mean, an ordinance is an ordinance. I mean, I know ordinances change, but it did change. Now it's 5 feet.
Yeah.
So it has to be 5 feet.
I'm sorry, what has to be 5 feet? I'm totally lost.
Anybody can't build on your property. They got to be 5 foot from the property.
We're gonna come back later, folks.